But there's a little more, and I'll end on this note. In those days, think about it, if you ever see a picture of these little ships that came across the ocean, you had to be a risk taker to be in that business. You had to be an entrepreneur to be in that business. And you may have had the Queen's gold, but God help you if you dissipated all of it in a crash or worse, lost your life. Remember, he was breaking new ground. He didn't have GPS, he didn't have Google, he didn't have anything. Think about that. And it's the risk-taking part and the businessman part and the entrepreneurial part that allows me, with great honor, to link my friend DeSenaTrennert and his wonderful award tonight with the great Christopher Columbus. Thank you very much. We're going to play a video. I'm under instructions. We're going to run right into the video. Thank
you. My mom's family is from a small town near Nola, which is a small town near Naples called Saviano. And Mom was one of 8 children, grew up in her formative years in the Gravesend section of Brooklyn. My father's family is from the Abruzzi region, the Cicciones, and it's interesting. My father is very different than my mom. My father was an only child and didn't learn that he was of Italian descent until he was about 14 or 15 years old. And once he learned he was Italian, he became very Italian in terms of his attitudes and his love of letters. He loved Italy, spent a lot of time there. Some of my fondest memories are in that backyard in the Gravesend section of Brooklyn, in that house where my mom grew up. My cousins and I used to get in all sorts of trouble there. My grandfather had a garden in the back where you'd see they planted basil and radishes and tomatoes, and that smell, particularly of basil, was probably the most evocative of my youth. My cousins in New Jersey have carried on the tradition of making tomato sauce every August. So they do the tomato crush and make sauce for the entire year. It's something that my son and my family have enjoyed visiting them when they're doing that. It was really with great humility that and some hesitance that I accepted it. But ultimately, I decided that it really wasn't really about me. It was about the people that came before me that made all the sacrifices that I didn't have to make. And so it's a great honor for me, because I'm so proud of my Italian heritage that just being able to really enjoy the day with my friends and my family means a lot. One of the first items on the list is the affectionately called the 2 Larrys. Larry Kudlow, who gave that completely over-the-top introduction to me before. Thank you for reading that exactly as I had written it for you, Larry. Obviously, he's one of the country's great economic minds and political thinkers. The other Larry, of course, is the Foundation's own Lawrence Oriana, a great philanthropist. And I can't think of a better advocate for the Italian-American family, for the Italian culture in this country. They have both been great mentors to me, great friends, and I wanted to start by thanking them both for their good advice and good counsel throughout my career. It is with great pride and no small amount of humility that I'm here tonight to accept this honor, despite the fact that so many of my friends would probably describe me in a way as a professional Italian. When Larry called me to ask me whether I'd consider being an honoree at this year's gala, I was both humbled and hesitant. I've had a table at this event for about 10 years, and in that time I've seen this incredible parade of exceptional people receive this honor. And like Frank, I just didn't feel like I kind of measured up. Ken Langone, Joe Perella, Joe Moliet, Maria Bartiromo, Frank Bisignano. This is great company, to be sure, and I don't even have a vowel at the end of my name, so who knew, But ultimately, for me, the deciding factor came when Larry said, Jason, I think you should do this for your mother. She's in good health. She's so proud of you. And it was at that moment that I remembered that this whole weekend is really, it's not about people of my generation that have had so many advantages. It's about people of prior generations that worked so hard to make the sacrifices that allow so many of us to enjoy the great bounty of this country, of America. When my partners and I started Strategas 4 years ago, one of the first things I did was go on eBay, and I bought a longshoreman's hook to keep on the desk of my office. I wanted an emblem of the great journey we were about to take. A hook probably seems like a very odd decorating choice, but my grandfather, Fiore DeSenaTrennert, was a longshoreman on the Manhattan dockyards. And when I think about the fact that a guy who spoke very little English could come over from La Campagna and buy his own house and successfully raise 8 kids, throw that hook around every day, I'll tell you, it breaks me up. That hook remains a daily emblem, a daily symbol of the Italian-American experience. On good days, I look at it and I think to myself, sic transit gloria. Whatever we've achieved as a company could be taken away in an instant. And on bad days, and as you know, there have been more than a few in the financial markets over the last couple of years, I look at that hook and I think about how fortunate I am to have 3 square meals a day, sometimes more, and to work indoors with air conditioning in the summer and heat in the winter. Being the son of 2 Italian-American teachers, it's probably fate that the 2 organizations that have had the biggest impact on my family life have been Italian-American institutions dedicated and committed to education. The Columbus Citizens Foundation is, of course, known for its great townhouse, its food, the parade, but its real purpose, as you know, is to provide scholarships to Italian-American students in need. It is so much more than a club. It is one of the city's great cultural and philanthropic institutions, and has become the center of my family life here in New York City. I have to thank Larry Oriana, Angelo Vivolo, and all the great people of the Foundation for having me as a member. Another great, although less known institution in this city is La Scuola d'Italia on 96th Street. It is the country's only K-12 private school committed to teaching students in both English and Italian. When my wife Bevan and I went to visit schools here in New York City, which, as some of you may know, can be a complete nightmare, we were delighted to discover it. It combines a great classical education and a warm atmosphere. It's so Italian in so many ways, and it's committed to making its students citizens of the world. My son Dominic loves the school, as do his parents. And while I may be somewhat biased because I'm a new member of its Board of Trustees, I hope you'll all consider it, if you have children of school-going age, as a potential place to send your kids to school. I am lucky to be joined tonight by so many friends and family, and my aunts, uncles, cousins, and of course it's natural on an evening like tonight to think about those that aren't here, and you might have seen in the video presentation there was a picture of a very good-looking guy who was my father, and he's the guy I miss the most. He was half German, half Italian, a teacher, a poet, a great lover of Italy and all things Italian. And I know he's smiling down on us tonight. E per I miei amici italiani, voglio che sappiate che ci sono tanti italoamericani che pensano dell'Italia più che il bel paese. Un bel luogo per le vacanze, la cucina, le spiagge, le donne, il mandolino, tutto il resto. Siamo in tanti ad apprezzare profondamente i contributi italiani nel mondo, ad apprezzare tanto gli italiani abbiano regalato alla civiltà occidentale nel campo della musica, delle arti, delle lettere, delle scienze, della filosofia e della religione. Questi contributi sono ancora più importanti se pensiamo allo sviluppo del nostro Paese, dell'America e della base della nostra democrazia. Devo dire che quasi tutti i miei amici italiani amano gli Stati Uniti, specialmente New York. Di solito parlano sempre dei difetti del loro paese natale in confronto a quello che si vede qui, in America. Ma come sappiamo è comune per gli esseri umani dare per costate le cose che gli altri apprezzano. Infine, voglio chiedervi con umiltà di non dimenticare l'importanza dell'Italia nella storia, e specialmente come alleato dell'America oggi. Non dimenticate le vostre radici italiane. Come italo-americano, io non le dimentico mai. Vi ringrazio. Thank you very much.
Smile for me, Joe. There you go. That's good. And again, and just one more.